one who starts the best conversations on Facebook, WhatsApp, or in the group chat? If so, this is the podcast for you. Hi, I'm Eva.
And I'm Don, and welcome to Chat and Bother. This is a 15-minute podcast where we start conversations and you and your circle finish them. So go ahead and share this episode with a friend or family member so they can listen to it and you can talk about it together.
Good morning.
And good morning.
I got ate up online on our anniversary. So it's been 20 years. The coolest thing happened, and I shared that on my personal Facebook page. Mm-hmm. It was friends only, and I got ate up. Apparently, I am a complete stick in the mud. So we went out for brunch to celebrate our 20 years. We're really going to celebrate in New Orleans for Essence Fest. We talked about that already. We're going to Essence Fest because we are an official selection in the podcast competition. We're still very, very excited about that. So anyway, we go to this place up the street to have brunch. We enjoy our brunch, have a nice little time.
It's very nice.
We're leaving. And out of nowhere, I think it's really, really cool though, because we've been married 20 years and this was the one thing we were going to go do. Out of nowhere, Don says, "Oh my goodness, that's our song." Over the loudspeakers, whatever they play music on, over the speakers, they were playing the very first song that we danced to on our wedding day.
Right.
Don turns to me and says, "Do you want to dance?" Now, mind you, we are no longer in the restaurant. The place we went is like a hotel that has a restaurant attached to it and kind of a lounge area in between the hotel and the restaurant. And then we were kind of in a hallway section, standing in the middle of the hallway between those two things, but it's open to the lounge side. It's an open public space. And I said, no.
She turned me down, y'all.
Oh my gosh. So I said no. I didn't think it was a big deal. I said, oh, but let's make a video. You may have seen it on our stories. I said, let's make a little video so we could hear the song in the background. Mm-hmm. You got to see it on the stories. He was mad about that too. But anyway, but I didn't think you weren't mad about me not dancing.
No. I know at this point, at this big age of us being married for 20 years.
Yes.
I know there's certain things that my wife likes and despises. Mm-hmm. I am a personality that enjoys doing things on a spur of the moment, but also I'm probably a little bit more of an attention hog than most people realize. My wife is the opposite of that. If there's attention, she's running. She doesn't want to be the center of any of that. That's why I asked if she wanted to dance. I thought maybe there's a chance that she wouldn't mind, but she looked around, did her scan, and said no. I said, okay.
So I got dragged because they were like, you should dance with that man. That man that asked you to dance. You just dance with that man. And I wish...
She got the skibbity paps.
Right. I wish I could say it made me feel bad, but friends and family, it did not. I am an odd makeup of introvert. Yeah, well, that's basically it. There is no extrovert in there.
What is the hybrid?
Okay, so I'm an introvert and I do what I want. I'm not easily influenced to do things that I don't want to do. Now, there are some...
So if there was an opposite of people pleaser...
I don't care what you
That
want.
would be the mixture of introvert plus anti-people pleaser.
Maybe that's like a cherry on top. I don't know. Maybe that's like a feature.
It comes with the introvert thing?
It's a feature. I don't know. For bigger things.
Yeah.
I will concede to bigger things. There have been places that I didn't want to go that I would figure it out and tell myself it's only for a short period of time. Other people are going to benefit from this and I can do it.
We joke around about it being a people meter where you sort of over peopled at certain points.
Yeah. I think those are two very different things. There are things that make me uncomfortable.
Right.
It is in who I am to not want to do that thing. And if it's not something that's going to really impact somebody else, I'm not going to do it. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it.
Right. You just said the key to this. Because I think what some people are missing in this is some people don't understand or maybe are understating the value of knowing who you are and what matters to you and what you can and can't handle or what makes you uncomfortable.
And I feel like that is a piece of who I am that you understand.
Right.
I never considered that you would take offense to me being like, no.
Now,
but people were offended for you.
I appreciate it, y'all.
No, don't appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all trying to defend me.
They wore me out.
But here's the thing. 19 years ago,
you'd have been pissed.
I'd be like, why you don't want to dance with me?
You'd have been mad.
I'm out here. I put myself out there. You leave me flapping in the breeze.
Yeah. You would probably be much more upset. 19 years ago, you'd have been like, I
was being romantic.
I was having a moment.
You don't understand, girl.
Yeah. And it would have been that any other person would have been flattered and they would have felt something else. But I think that after 20 years, you know what makes me happy.
Right.
And what makes me want to crawl on my hands and knees and find a rock to live under. So you know that it's not because I don't appreciate the gesture. It's just that that's not, and we talked about love languages.
Right.
That's not my love language. That's like cussing at me.
Right, because 20 years ago, 19 years ago, I would have grabbed you by the hand and said, come on, girl, let's go.
And dipped me or done something crazy, and I would have been livid, and you would not have understood why I was so upset.
Right.
And I think that it's part of a bigger picture. I'm saying to my friends, and I don't think I was very clear, because it's completely normal to me to be like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, that's normal to me. And to my friends, they're like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Sweet to me is when you bring me sushi unprompted. That means you have thought about me.
Oh.
Yeah, that is saying you are the love of my life. That's what I hear. When you say,
that's the translation.
Yes, when you say, hey, I have sushi, and I didn't even ask for that.
Right.
That is like the most romantic thing you could do for me.
I'm taking notes, y'all.
You already knew that. You knew my big behind love a good taco and some sushi. But if you say to me, hey, let's dance in a public place where no one else is dancing, and it is not a space where dancing is expected at this time,
we could have made room. It wasn't a dance floor.
No. I am not a person who says anywhere is a dance floor. I am not that person. But I think there's something to be said for what makes other people get all warm and fuzzy inside versus what makes me get all warm and fuzzy inside.
Right.
If I was to turn to you when that song came on and say, let's dance, you would have either been like, A, she's been drinking, or B, she's been drinking. Or C, she has been drinking.
Or D, I'd have got up and danced.
No, I'm not saying that you wouldn't have, but you would have looked at me like I had lost my mind.
No, I mean, I might have been like, don't you did,
let's go. Oh, my God. Oh, come on. Anyway, so I think that the bigger thing here is deciding what part of you are willing to sacrifice. Because for me, it might not seem like a big deal to anybody else.
Right.
But for me, I hate that feeling.
Right.
I don't want the feeling of all eyes on me, which I don't think people expect because I do so many things that are in public.
And I know most people don't know that about you except maybe a few of your very, very, very close friends.
Yes. And they've been clear with you about that too. Because y'all, he wanted to propose to me
in a grandiose manner.
In a grandiose fashion. And they were like, do not do that. That is a terrible idea. He was like, all women love to have some big... Eva doesn't want that.
Right.
I'm telling you, that is a terrible idea. Oh, that's a story for a whole other day. That day was saved.
Oh, okay.
That was a saved day.
That's shout out to Ananita.
Yeah, shout out to
Always
Ananita.
And forever.
Yes, she is the reason why we are here today.
That's the episode.
No, I ain't telling everybody that story. They wouldn't be your friend no more. The way they drugged me, they might drag you, and I don't want that for you.
All right.
I don't want that for you. It's going to take a while to realize that some things don't match up and make sense. You might have somebody who has a very public job. They might speak, they might be an actor or an actress or be on camera all the time. They might be a news anchor,
Right.
somebody who's always on. But they might be similar to me. That's what they do.
Right.
That is their job. They enjoy that thing.
Right.
But when it comes to spontaneous public interactions or public displays, they don't want to do that.
And I've actually seen that quite a bit in my professional career, where there are people that are great at public speaking, but if you get them in the room, what was the name of that? Michigan J. Frog.
Yeah.
Man, this dude was grandiose on stage.
He was dynamic.
But you see him in the coffee room, crickets.
Because that's not what he does.
Okay.
That's not a thing that
He prepared that 5 minutes and knew every single word of that 5-minute spiel he gave.
Yes, and it was exciting. It was dynamic, but a lot of times that's not the same person
Right.
that you meet. And people have told me that about our daughter. She is a YouTube personality.
Right.
So she does a lot of, she's on camera, very fun, very engaging, very exciting.
Right.
You meet her in person, she is not the same person. Oh my gosh, I have a mini-me. She don't look nothing like me, y'all, but she act like me.
But she is a very thoughtful individual.
Yes.
And she's very thoughtful about how she interacts with people.
Yes.
And that thought process takes a lot out of her.
And when she first meets you, it's not, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Like that. That's not what you're going to get.
The over-the-top intro that she always has.
No, you're going to get, hello. Nice to meet you.
Right.
And then the rest of the time she's watching you to see how this is going to go. Our boys are probably a little more transparent and engaging in person.
Right.
You meet Dave, but Dave does not like to be on camera.
Right.
So our middle son does not like to be on camera, but when you meet him in person, it's what you expect our daughter to be like.
Right.
And when you meet our oldest in person, he's like a combo of the two.
Right.
Very engaging, excellent listener, replies to what you're saying exactly. Like he's not waiting for you to finish talking so that he can talk.
Right.
He's actually processing what you're saying to him. So I just think everybody is different. Y'all didn't need me to drag me like that. I do appreciate my husband and the things that he does to let me know that he appreciates me and that he notices things.
It is not unrequited love.
Yes, I am not a turd. Although it may seem like it sometimes, I am not a complete and utter turd. So one of the things that we talked about when I told him that I was being dragged was that it's important to let your partner know what works for you and what doesn't, what you will accept and what you won't.
Right. And not just what you'll accept and what you won't. Where do you feel uncomfortable? Understanding that and helping them see where the boundaries are is important, because you have to be able to communicate that in a way that is not upsetting 20 years later when they find out, oh, you don't want to dance.
Yeah.
Knowing that the first year, I get it a little bit better. I'm never going to fully understand it because that's not my personality, but I do accept it because that is what makes her happy or what makes her work and how she processes these interactions.
And there are going to be concessions.
Right.
There are some things that we concede on. Let's see, where do I concede?
You think it too hard.
It's sad because the thing is, I was not raised to do things I don't want to do. It's different when it needs to be done. You do things that you have to do.
Right.
But if there are things that are going to make you feel bad or make you uncomfortable, you don't do those things. I've seen things that would bother me. They used to bother me. It doesn't bother me now because it does. So I see things. Yeah, it does. I had to think about it. Yes, it does. It's not even my kids, but it bothers me. So you have these kids doing these grandiose promposals, right? It's prom season right now, and they do these big promposals. The girls feel pressured
to
say yes because it was public.
Right.
And it's in front of all of their friends. It's in front of the guy's friends. You don't want to embarrass him. You got kids playing the saxophone, okay? You got kids involving the whole band and
the whole football
team and the cheerleaders, and they have all these things going. And at the end of it, it's, will you go to prom with me? And I'm telling you, when you look in the comments section, you're never supposed to read the comments, but when you look in the comments section, if one girl dares to say no, adults drag her through the mud, call her all out her name, and it's a child,
right,
who has exercised her agency to say, I don't care what performance you've put on.
Right.
I don't want to spend this time with you.
Right.
Which is absolutely her right. But when guys go out of their way to do something, a reward is expected. And it's not just guys jumping on saying, hey, he went through all that, you better say yes. It is moms talking about, if that was my son, I would beat her. Like, it's all kind of, hostility against the woman just saying, I don't want to do that. It doesn't matter what grandiose gesture you've made, who you've involved, you're asking me for something.
But what gets lost in a lot of that is nobody understands what happened before the proposal.
That's right. He might have cussed her out. He might have cheated on her. Or she just don't want to spend time with that man.
Right.
She might not be attracted to him. She might not like his breath. She might not like him. Or she might just want to go by herself.
Or she just don't want to be with Boogie Pick and Berry.
Nobody said the man picks his nose. No one said the young man picks his nose.
I'm just saying, sometimes it's simpler than just, it's about agency. And sometimes he stink.
But it's her
dragging
choice.
Brett below.
It doesn't matter what the reason is. She doesn't want to do it. She doesn't have to do it. And she shouldn't be.
And she doesn't owe anybody an explanation. Is what I'm saying.
No.
Like, it could be something very simple, like, body odor.
At the end... At the end of the day, if she doesn't want to do it, she should not have to do it.
Right.
No matter what he did or said, she shouldn't have to do it. Now, this was just a simple question. Do you want to dance? My answer was no. I thought my friends could understand.
Oh,
they did not.
Dance with somebody.
They just didn't.
I want to feel the heat.
I did not want to feel the heat with somebody. I didn't. And I didn't. I eventually explained in the comments after the Dragons.
Did they dial it down?
They dialed it down a little bit, but some people were like, I don't even care. You should have danced with that man. That's a good man. It was giving Tyler Perry. That's a good man.
I am the Tyler Perry guy.
Yes. All you need is a bad cornrow wig. My auntie would be in the kitchen cooking grits, telling me that's a good man. I don't know why you don't want that man. That man asks you to dance, you better dance with that man.
If you don't want him, leave him alone.
If you don't want him, let somebody else dance with him. See, he's not even mad, y'all. He's not even mad.
I'm just happy I made it to Tyler Perry status.
Oh my gosh, that's a good man. Well, I gotta go to work.
And I gotta go to work.
But happy anniversary, Don.
And happy anniversary to you too.
And we can dance. It will just be here in the house. And the only people who will cringe and run away are our children.
That sounds like a good time.
That, my friend, has benefits. See, now that I can get behind.
All right.
A little embarrassment. I can get behind that. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us for Chat and Bother. Go ahead and like our Facebook page and share this episode with people that you want to chat with or just feel like bothering, or both. Visit our website, chatandbother.com, for our episode guide and other ways to connect with us. Take care.